Today is Friday, Parashat Shelach Lecha. We're learning from Chorech Israel the Mussar. כשתשאל על אדם אשר תרצה להתחבר עמו, שאל מי רעהו. When you ask about a person with whom you want to associate, you're considering to associate with someone, ask who are his friends. כי האדם עושה כמעשה רעהו. Because a person typically acts like the way his friends act. So inquire about who are the friends of that person. If you tell me who your friends are, I can tell you most likely what you are. So be very careful when you associate with people to check who they associate with. על כן כשתהיה בתוך עם, תתרועע לטוב ואל תתרועע לרע, פן תרע כמוהו. And that's why when you are among the people, befriend only those who are good and not those who are bad, because lest you become like them, like those who are bad. וכך אמרו, אם דרך איש לך נסתרה, הבט וראה עם מי עושה חברה. And this is what our sages said. If a person, or this is Amru, in general it was said, if a person's path is hidden from you, you don't know exactly about a certain person, habet ur'eh, check and see, with whom does he keep company? You know, there's sayings that say, tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. So check into the friends of that person, and that will be an indication of the quality of that person. כי כל עורב למינו קרב, וטמא טמא יקרא. And it brings here an example from birds in terms of certain birds are kosher, sometimes are not kosher, and sometimes you see a bird that associates with another bird. I'll give you an indication also as the type of bird he is in terms of kosher or not. So it says every raven stays close to another raven, and the raven is not a bird that is kosher to eat. כשתדבר בלילה השפל קולך. When you speak at night, lower your voice, because you don't know who's hearing what you're saying. And during the day, when you speak during the day, look around you. And be careful in your words. Even from the wall behind you. Because they say, as an expression, even the walls have ears. In other words, you might be saying something and not knowing that anybody's listening. And there could be somebody that overheard what you said. And if it was something improper that you would have said, it would be something that would be embarrassing or something that is not right to do. So be very careful what you say, whether it's at night or during the day. Be careful. כי ימות אדם בכישלון לשונו ואל ימות בכישלון רגליו. Because a person can die as a result of the stumbling of his tongue. Saying the wrong thing could be very destructive. And in terms of kishlon raglav, but if he stumbled, the stumbling of his feet, he would not die from it like the stumbling of his tongue. Ki b'chishlon leshono yasir et rosho. For the stumbling of his tongue can remove his head. V'chishlon raglav yerafe larotz me'ad. But the damage caused by stumbling of his feet is only that he walks slowly for a time and then he will be healed, he can be healed. But the consequences of improper speech or stumbling with something you said, hurting somebody's feelings, saying something that is improper, whatever it is that your person stumbles with his tongue is more serious than if he stumbled with his feet as he's walking. If you're afraid that you'll regret, that you might change your mind, say no before you say yes. Because if you say no after you have said yes, that's something that is extremely disgraceful. So be very careful of the statements you make, that say yes when you really mean yes, and say no when it's no. But if you're going to say yes and then change it to a no, it's something that is extremely disgraceful, so a person has to be very careful with what he says. And when you say yes, and when you say a definite yes, be sure to fulfill that which you said. And here the Mussar speaks about the importance of paying attention to what we say, and to be careful that things could be heard, overheard, so that to be very careful not to stumble, and to fulfill what you say. If it's yes, then it's a yes. And the Mussar are wonderful advice how the person should act and should seek to reach the levels that the Mussar tells us to strive towards. This was the Mussar from Chok Yisrael today of Parashat Shelach Friday. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.